Hi everybody. It's Friday again, and I hope you're all keeping well, that you had a good week. For those of you with kids, I hope they got back to school okay. My little baby started her first day at school. My little baby is not a baby, so it's not easy. It's great to get a little bit of time to yourself, but there's going to be a lot of that in future. You kind of start realising fairly quick. It'd be lovely if you could have a happy medium, but I suppose that's not the way the world works. So yeah, look, at a bit more time coming up on the horizon, I suppose. At the same time, the evenings are getting a bit longer. You can feel, or no, the other way. The nights are getting longer, the evenings are getting shorter. So the time for being out late is starting to dwindle as well. So that's why I'm doing this live a little bit earlier. It mightn't be a great time for everybody, so I might start doing it on Saturday mornings if in the autumn and winter, because there's no point trying to do it in the dark. My technical skills barely stretch to this, so there's no point pushing my luck. Speaking of technical skills, now I know you can barely contain yourselves, but look at this, a wireless mic. So the idea is now that I'll be able to walk around the garden and show you stuff. You can't see it, but I have this gadget in my hand. It's not a selfie stick, it's a gimbal or something. And this gimbal is going to enable me to show you the devil and all, allegedly. We'll see. I'll do my best. The instructions were in half Chinese, half Pidgin English, and I lost the will to live. So I decided I'd just wing it and hope for the best. So what I'm going to do, because of all my new gadgetry, I decided that what I'll do is I'll take you on a tour of the garden, because it's going to start raining and getting windy and all sorts here later on. So I thought, I'll do it now, because God knows when I might have a chance to do it again. And by the time I figure out the gadgetry right, the weather will be gone bad and the winter will be in and there'll be no flowers to show you. So at least now I can show you. So I'll show you all. I haven't choreographed this. I haven't had a go at doing it beforehand or anything. I'm just going to wing it and hope that you get to see what you might like to see. So without further ado, I think I'm going to switch my camera around. Oh my God, I'm starting this at the washing. That is not cool. Okay, what I actually wanted to show you was my pumpkins. Now, can you see them there? Aren't they just the deadliest little things? That's the size of them at the minute. Oh, so about the size of my hand. I have two there, and I have another one here. And see the way this yoke is moving nice and smooth. It's cool. And there's a couple more. I'm going around every day taking extra ones off it, because I read somewhere that if you take them, can you see them there now? There you go. There's my pumpkins. Because I read somewhere that if you take off the extra ones, that you'll get, the plant will focus on creating a few decent sized ones. So that's what I'm aiming for. These pumpkins, there was nothing much into this now. I can't claim any great genius here. We had a massive one out of Lidl or Aldi last year for carving for the kids, and I kept a few of the seeds, washed them, dried them on the windowsill, kept them till spring, planted them. I had about 20. This is, look, I don't think you can get the full gist of the craziness of this thing. This is one plant. That's one raised bed, all of its own. Excuse the green leaf. I think the sun scorched some of it when I was on my hollybops. Yeah, but look at the size of it. It's just bloody massive. And I must have taken, I'd say 15 or 20 pumpkins off it. I've left it with maybe 6, and even that's probably too much, I think. So I have them, they're here. See, I can't mow the lawn or anything. I didn't think it was going to grow into the lawn. I've them resting on little tiles so that they don't rot. I saw somebody else doing that, so I don't know if that's going to work or not, but we will see. The idea is that they don't rot in the grass. So we'll see if that works. The main thing I think now is to keep them protected from frost. So hopefully I manage to do that. That's going to be my next trick. I also have some carrots that need to be pulled up fairly quick, and beetroot, because they're basically the only vegetables that I, can be bothered to grow. Which doesn't sound good. Don't let the kids hear me saying that. So then up here, this is the bed. If you remember a few weeks ago, I was a bit disappointed with the lack of colour. To be honest with you now, it's not my pride and joy at the minute either, but it has improved a little bit. I've echinaceas there. They're the kind of daisy flowers great for this time of year, perennials, and can be divided. The miserable looking red ones are ones I've divided. They'll be fine. They don't look much this year, but they'll be fine next year, I guarantee you. There's gladioli there coming up. They're the spear-like ones there. Oh, look at this, I can do it with my finger. Jesus, I'm cooking on gas now, people. And I've more of these gladioli here. So, and a good few more there. And in behind the gladioli, which wasn't really the idea, are a whole load of Michaelmas daisies. Do you see these purple daisies? They're just going to be gorgeous. And they were taken from kind of small ones that a friend of mine gave me and have really thrived. I'm thrilled with them. And my plan is to keep dividing those out and fill the bed full. My policy is to fill the beds full to capacity, because that way the weeds don't get a chance and I have less to be worrying me. I should have just done the decent thing and cut down these lupins to the bush. I cut them back all right when they stopped flowering, but they've never come back right, and they're only taking up space and annoying me head. I should have just got rid of them. This emergency measure is my cosmos. I grew up from seed. It's a dwarf cosmos. I don't think it's much dwarf about it, but anyway, it's just filling in a gap at the minute. I have no intention of leaving that there next year. Here is my little crabapple tree that I just love these. I think they're gorgeous. So they'll get redder and redder over the winter and hold on to their fruit. So they're not for eating, because look, they're only about the size of a cherry or a grape or something. And then I love these hollyhocks. Oh my God, they're the easiest things in the world to grow. Highly, highly, highly recommend them for anybody who has a tall garden, because I grew them by seed. They were easy to grow from seed. I planked them in the ground. They're not supposed to bloom the first year. I must have somehow managed to pick ones that do. And look at the colour of that. I just think that's the most gorgeous kind of peachy. It's just the most gorgeous colour. Anyway, they're a mixture of colours. So if you're into your colour schemes now, maybe you need to pick a packet that is only one colour. I didn't, but I don't care. They're just gorgeous. And they keep going and going and going. So hopefully I'll get some seeds to save off them and redo that next year. They do self-seed. But like, I don't really fully trust this self-seeding business. I have a garden full of birds that also like to self-seed. So yeah, I'll do that. Then here, this is these are, look, it's a spindly little thing. This is my Verbena bonariensis cuttings. I just basically pulled some up out of somewhere else in the garden and planked them down here, because this is going to be my secret weapon against lupin die-off next year. So when the lupins die off next year, I'm hoping I'm going to have a load of this to take over. So I'm basically planning this bed around a succession of plants that'll be purple and yellows. Which is a bit of a weird colour scheme, because in hindsight, I think I should have gone for oranges and reds because of the colour of the shed. But, you know, that would mean now I'd have to take out all those lupins, and they don't look great now, but they were lovely at one stage. So that's that bed, which obviously isn't that amazing. But then over here I don't know if you can see fully just how fab my rudbeckias are. This is a bit of a, yeah. So over here, I call this area here where the kids' playhouse is, we call it the wood chips or the woodland bed, because that's what I'm trying to make it into, is a kind of little woodland area. So at the minute, these guys are stealing the show, and they last for a good 6 weeks, and they're just the easiest thing that I've ever grown in my whole life. They, for whatever reason, have decided they love living with me. So I'm going to love keeping them, and I've loads of them. And basically all I do is I just dig up lumps of them and plant them somewhere else, and they just keep growing. So they do die back over the winter, so they're not much to look at in winter. So in winter, I'll show you all this in live videos. When they die off, the seed heads are still quite nice. If you like that black, you know, the little centre of the flower there, that stays as a seed head. And they do look quite interesting, I think. You wouldn't call them pretty now. Interesting, I think, is the best you could call them. Some people leave them, but I don't. I cut them back down to the ground, because I have spring bulbs and stuff sown in amongst all this that you wouldn't see if you left them there like that. And whatever I'm doing seems to be working. So I think I'll just keep doing that. And that's my approach in that. Otherwise, in that bed, there's a mixture of all kinds of different flowering shrubs. They flower and do something at different times of the year. Like some of them there's a butterfly bush in there that's gone off now. There's that fabulous tree hydrangea. I love that. It's gorgeous. The kind of green one here looks small when I put my finger up to it. It's very big. That's a dogwood where the stems are all real lovely red in the winter. So when the leaves fall off it, the stems are beautiful. You see them on motorways and stuff, but it's actually a lovely thing to have at the back of a bed like that as something to fill in the gap in the winter. And then this paler green, that's a choicea. It has a lovely white flower on it. I have another one as well that's not quite as happy there, but I still like it. This tree here looks so miserable now, and to be honest with you, it kind of has my heart broken. It's a Korean pine, and every year it goes like that, where so many of the needles fall off it. It gets new, it's not dead because it gets new growth every year, and I think that's it now. This year I've saved it, and it grows taller every year, but it's not happy. But I haven't fully accepted that it might need to be moved or, other surgery performed. But anyway, it's there for now because it doesn't look like anything there now. I totally appreciate that. But in winter, when all this is all died down, it's like a perfect Christmas tree shape and it looks gorgeous. I put a few lights in it and a few baubles. I don't overdo it now in case you're thinking that I have the poor tree killed. I'm fairly careful. I have berberis, I have mock orange, I have Weiglia. I'm never fully sure how to say Weiglia. And a whole load of different shrubs that kind of flower or do something at different points over the year. And then over here is this other bed that we just put in last year. And sorry now guys, just 1 second. You go. Sorry, you can just see what's going on here. Yeah, that's perfect.
So I get to leave all of this?
Yeah, do. Perfect. That's my little girl who has decided to take up videoing in the garden since she saw me at it. So, okay, here we have this new bed. I just put this in last year, but a lot of it is stuff I moved out elsewhere. Well, it's a mixture of stuff I moved out elsewhere. Right in front here, right, this tree here is my favourite tree in the whole world. It's a Rhus, R-H-U-S, or stag's horn or stag's antler or something. Stag's horn, I think. I absolutely love it. I just think the leaves are gorgeous. You can't see it now, only the very bare start of it. The colours that it goes in autumn before the leaves drop off are just amazing. And the branches mine look actually a bit straight, but over time they become really gnarled and really sort of twisted nearly, and it just is the most fab shape in winter as well. Now, I'm saying all that and I'm selling it very well, I'm sure, but lots of people hate it because it tries to spread and put up runners all over the place, but I don't care. I just love it. I think it's gorgeous. And I'm trying to grow it properly for years. I've discovered it really doesn't like wet ground. This year it is absolutely flying it over here, and it's because I know that that's a way drier spot than I've ever had it in before. Here in front of me, that's a smoke bush, or what's the proper word for it? Cotoneus or cotoneus, which I just love the colour of the leaves. This is my favourite. It's my favourite shrub in the garden. I can never capture how gorgeous the leaf colour is, but it's the colour that I painted the shed over there. So, because I brought the leaf into the paint shop. And then here, little bits of snow in winter. So I have, these are slips and I'm trying to spread it now across. So I just basically dug up little pieces of that and I'm now spreading it to various, oh, come on, camera, to other parts of the camera. Misty, we call her Misty. Sorry, my helper is very flat out helping. These pink babies here these are the cosmos that I have up in the other bed as well, all grown by seeds. They're just brilliant for filling in a gap. They flower and flower and flower. And for this, filling in this bed, I have them stuck everywhere in it because they just fill it out. You can get much more exciting colours than that pink. They're just seeds I saved from last year, so I just keep planting them because they're just very handy for this, for just filling in all the gaps and keeping the weeds down, and they keep going and going, and they're lovely to cut. Like, look at the stem on that now. Can you see that? The stem is really long. So if you can imagine, I've sweet peas and stuff. I think my internet is breaking up. I'm gone too far away, so I'm going to start moving backwards. Behind it, that's a Fatsia japonica. I have that years. It was never happy till I moved it there either. So definitely, one thing I've learned is the right plant in the right place. If something isn't happy where it is and it's looking miserable, there's a fair chance moving it somewhere else in your garden will make it come good. You can see more hollyhocks in at the back there, and sunflowers still going. Not record breaking though, they let me down the scuts. But anyway, they're still there in with the hollyhocks. There's another gorgeous hollyhock. As you can see, I am very fond of the most blousy, flowery, feminine flowers you can get. And here's my Rudbeckias, because last year I ran out of money and I needed to fill out this bed. So I just dug up more of my Rudbeckias from over there and put them over here. And I've also supplied half the parish with spare Rudbeckias because they grow so well. So if you ever find a plant that grows like that for you, that's the one to give to friends and everything, because it's going to work in other people's gardens. There's a mixture of other things as well in that bed. I have Sambuca nigra, that's this black, or whatever you want to call it, very dark chocolate. That'll kind of go tree-like eventually. There's a fair chance I've too much in this bed, especially now. I know it looks like it when you see all the perennials filling it out. But I put it in last year and it didn't look like that at the time. So I will move them when I take another chance, when these perennials die back down, and when the annuals like the Cosmos are gone. I'll have another look, and if it looks like there's too much in it, I'll move them and make it work. So you know, I'm always tweaking at it. This is my little flamingo. I think, was it Jennifer has a flamingo tree? There's my one. I gave it a haircut there and it's actually coming on a bomb again. I love these. I think they're gorgeous, but I only have it a little while. And it's lovely in winter as well. You can't, yeah, here you can see the stems. Oops. The stems are kind of red, and you can see, look, it sweeps off you can see where it sweeps off the fence. I just think it's gorgeous. Sorry, now my voice is starting to go. Okay, down here to my rockery. This rockery is only in a year. Love this rockery. This is one of the success stories. These here, pink daisies, are fabulous. I know they're kind of an old-fashioned flower. They used to be in lots of grannies' gardens, I think. They weren't in my granny's garden, but I know people have said it to me. Eragon, or Mexican fleabane, is the name of it. It's absolutely the most fabulous stuff, and it's the easiest thing to grow, and it just flowers and flowers and flowers and flowers and flowers and flowers. There's no deadheading, there's no nothing. I don't have to water it. I do throw a drop of water on it, but it's the best thing ever. So I love it so much that I just dug up little bits of it. Oh, sorry now, this is for my camera work. Excuse the weeds too. You can see I'm trying to get little bits of it to grow over there as well. So that's the plan for that. Oops, sorry everybody. Still getting the hang of this gadget. So I've a mixture of all kinds of I've Aubrietia, different sedums. That's hens and chicks there. You can see that's gorgeous, that one. The only thing is it does die back totally in winter and is a bit miserable looking, but it's in its glory at the minute. Somebody else was asking me about a sedum earlier on. I have a sedum, Stonecrop Alba, which was absolutely beautiful a few weeks ago, but that dies back and it kind of does go a bit ick looking for a while. That's a creeping thyme. That's more Aubrietia. Most of this grown by seed. These were all easy to grow. Like I'm not any seed genius. This is more Edelweiss. I've probably bored you all of my Edelweiss stories. That's a bit of a heather that came. Oh, sorry. What's that thing? Sorry. That heather came in a planter. You know, like from Centra, in with a whole load of other things last Christmas. I don't know how to get this thing to go back and stop swinging around. Apologies. Oh, 1 second, I'll get it sorted, girls. Don't know what way it's gone now. Anyway, Other things in there are various different ornamental grasses. I think I'm just going to hold it myself. Various different ornamental grasses, because I think they're just deadly. This little border along here, along my patio, I put it in on purpose to take the sort of square, straight edge look off the patio, because all those grasses are real dynamic. They move with the wind. They're evergreen. The ones that I have are, not all grasses are evergreen, but these ones are. And they spread out, so they sort of soften the edge, the sharp straight edge along the patio, and I think it was a great idea. That mixture of ornamental grasses and perennials and annuals that I have, which is basically bits of everything, you know, like fancy way of saying bits of everything, is called prairie planting. And I really, really like it. I'm still practicing. I haven't got it all right. Like, see these guys here. Love them. Zinnias, grown by seeds. I don't know why we don't have way more of them. They don't ever have them in the garden centres either. So if you see a packet of seeds of zinnias, Zinnia, get them. Really easy to grow, and they just keep flowering and flowering. And the colours are, they're not like, I'd even crazier colours last year, but look at these ones here. Aren't they gorgeous? They're lime queenies or something, I think they were called. That's baby's breath. It's going off now, but you know, so gypsophilia or whatever it's called. And I'm leaving my poppy seed heads because I think they're pretty. And loads more of these Michaelmas daisies. This, I'll be able to show you here because they were over in the other bed too. So that's what they'll be like, but they'll fill out, that whole clump will all be a mass of purple flowers. I also stick in heucheras because I just love heucheras. They're lovely. That one in particular seems to flower all year. It's great stuff. So another one I'd recommend. Then over here, this thing is still giving out to me. Oh, flipping hell. How would you get it to stay? This is now what happens when you buy new technology and you don't know how to use it. Okay, hydrangeas. Flowers are going off a bit here on me. And here are my lovely gladioli starting to come out. So I have those kind of limey ones, and I have these kind of purple and limey one mixture. And that kind of seems to have worked out fairly okay, that colour scheme. So I'm kind of happy with that. I have a Boston ivy. I had a lovely Boston ivy covering this whole shed, and in an effort to clear some of the ordinary ivy off it, I cut all the Boston ivy by mistake. Anyway, never mind, it's coming back now. And that's my few sweet peas, bit straggly. Sorry guys, I'm going to have to do a cough. Okay, oh gosh, right, walk back over this way. Jackie, yeah, the baby's breath comes back every year. I grew that from little rhizomes. They're kind of like roots that you can, I got it from Lidl a couple of years ago, and I have a few of them, but only one of them really took off. But yeah, it does come back every year, and it's lovely when it's out. It's really nice. So just a few pots, they're all starting to go off. Here's more of these amaranthus. I'm not sure what I think of these, but they're different. That's the best I can say about them. And then here's my sort of cottage garden part of the garden. So I have dahlias, sea holly in there behind it. This thing is still wonky and going around in circles on me. Let's see, can I get it to stop? Hang on. Do you know what? I'm going to take it off. Right, I'm back to normal. Okay, so yeah, I have those pom-pom dahlias. These are the ones that survived the slugs. Loads more cosmos here in the background. My straggly bits of hanging baskets that are left, they're going to have to go soon, I'm afraid. What else have I got over here? I'm going to do my box hedge again, give it another tidy up. There's the almerias that I was planting, armerias there from last week. There as well. Now, I've nothing against Dunnes or Tesco. Apologies, Cass, they're all good. Oh yeah, plants I love, right? This stuff. Verbena, verbena, verbena. Where was this my whole life? I don't know. This is Verbena rigida. and it is the easiest thing in the world to grow. I don't know if how luminous of purple it is in real life comes across in the camera, but it's just luminous, and it's so easy to grow. It's cheap, it's easy to dig up. I've dug up clumps of it and put it elsewhere. You can't really see it now, but in that other bed where I had the roots and others growing, I have lumps of this as well. Easy peasy. Same thing here, this Scabiosa. And absolutely both these totally adored by butterflies. Like there can be, we counted 40 something butterflies along here during the week. These here are gone off now. Oh my God, can't think of their names. Know their names very well, but can't think of it at the minute. It'll come back to me. I was doing great there for a while, remembering all the names. So that's Verbena rigida, their brother, the Verbena bonariensis. And it goes a bit straggly, as you can see. It kind of can't take any bit of wind. You'd be wasting your time trying to support it because there's so much of it. But it's great stuff. Sorry, everybody. Is the telly on? Yes, Maeve is in charge of the telly, so you go in and get the telly on. You did name, she named the butterflies, did you? What did you name the butterflies? You can't think now. Can't think now. Right, okay, other things I have that I think are cool and well worth having a go growing that not everybody has, or I don't think everybody has. I haven't seen everybody having. This stuff, Gaura. Another one. Where was this all my life? It's so easy to grow. Lovely little pink flowers. Like, I mean, if you like a tidy plant, this is not for you. It sort of straggles and everything. But when the wind is blowing, those little pink flowers are dancing around the place. I love it. I think it's great stuff. I have about 6 or 7 little bits of it taken as cuttings this year. If it works, I'm going to. You're my helper. You are, yeah. But you know you have to be a quiet little helper, don't you?
And I also need to tell the butterflies' names.
Yeah, you think the butterflies' names and I'll ask you now in a second.
No, but I know the butterflies' names.
No, and here we go. See, it's not called the Busy Woman's Garden for nothing, people, you know. Here we have a mixture of little annual seeds that I grew. See, I'm not a total control freak. There is a little bit of daftness in it. I'm halfway done cutting back my lavender. If you haven't done your lavender, you need to do your lavender now.
I remember one.
Yeah.
I remember.
Quickly now. Yeah.
Flyby.
Flyby was the butterfly's name. Oh, lovely.
And it's also more butterfly's name.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you
in a minute now, Diana. Okay. This here are sorry, I'm laughing. They're heucheras, lime marmalade heucheras. That's actually only 3 plants. I'm going to divide that this year and going to put some of that up at the office bed as well. That's very easy grow. There's lovely kind of little white flowers. Now you wouldn't really be growing it for the flowers, but they're cute, you know. And it's evergreen, right? Even though it just looks real flimsy, it's actually evergreen. So they're, as we call it, the big lettuce, because we're looking straight out from the living room window at it. The big lettuce thrives in all conditions. So another plant I'd highly recommend. In behind it is my little, well, it's not a little agapanthus. My agapanthus is there and it's going off a bit now. Another easy peasy plant to grow. Actually, no, hold on. Another thing to say. In here at the back of the ditch, so I'm kind of hiding the ditch. I border on farmland with this Crocosmia. Now, this is like the Rus. It's a plant that I think is the best thing since sliced bread, but lots of people don't like because it sort of takes over. But I don't mind it taking over there and hiding the ditch. So I'm more than happy to have it. And all of that came from one plant that I have in you know, at the shed there, and I just dug up bits of it and planked it along. That's only there, I'd say, 18 months. So another one that really likes my garden. Then that pink, hot pink there, that's another echinacea. So I had some of that up at the office bed as well. Here, heleniums, love these. Love these, and they were very miserable looking, and I moved them, and they are now very happy. So that is definitely a lesson to move things that aren't happy. Here's my other sea hollies that I'm depressed about that were amazing last year. Now there was only one last year, so there's two this year. So that's the good news. So I'm holding on to that and hoping that next year it'll be better. Rosemary, absolutely love rosemary. Big rosemary bush here. I've 3 of them, and I have a good few taken as cuttings. So fingers crossed they'll work. There's a little sitting area up there. I don't know if you can. There's a bench there. Eucalyptus growing. I think I'm going to move that. I love the colour of it. It's evergreen as well. Another one that's very handy. Here is the ice plant, another sedum. Yeah, I mean, this grows no matter what you do. It's the easiest thing in the world to grow. I have about 4 baby plants made out of this one, no problem. Like, see, I don't know if you can see here. There's actually one just growing there. It just seeds itself. It's great stuff. So long as you like it. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. And a stingy bee. I know, he's busy bee. He's happy out. Yeah, the bees love this. That's what. So I don't know if you see the one there. There's another one over here. Come back out there now. There's another one. I don't know. They actually get drunk in it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get so happy. This is supposed to be a miniature pampas grass. It's gone a bit mad. The jury's out about whether I'll allow it to continue to develop. I cut it back from underneath a couple of times a year, really. But it's lovely in winter when there isn't much else going. It's pretty, like the feathery kind of fronds they're just lovely, I think. So I kind of tolerate that it's a bit of a beast for the rest of the year. Here I have mint, like it's just normal garden mint, and lots of people don't like that either because it goes mad. But I just hack it back to manageable size and let it off again, and that's it. This little shrub here, can't think the name of it. You're seeing it at its absolute vibrant blue, beautiful best. I'll be honest with you now, it's not like that a lot of the year. So I wouldn't be I can't think of the name of it, and I wouldn't be really recommending it. I have a bit going on here, looks a bit miserable at the minute. I'm trying to see, can I get my verbena to take there, but I did it just before I went on holidays, and then it turned out to be a scorcher when I was on holidays, so don't know if that's going to work, but you know, we'll keep the faith yet. With those things where you take a risk doing something like that, you won't really know till the following year if it's going to work or not. So you can see I have a Shasta daisy there that needs to be dead-headed. That one's fairly good. I have other daisies that they come up and they're great for about a week, and then I have to deadhead them, and that's the end of them. So it's I'm never fully sure what I'm buying with those big daisies. This one here, Russian sage. It's a new little plant. Well, it's getting fairly big now, but it was just a little slip of a thing I took last year. This, look at this. This is so funny. So this plant here is, if anyone can recognize it, it's actually a tomato that grew out of my compost. Look. If you were trying to grow tomatoes in the flower bed, it would never work. So I'm not supporting it or anything. I'm just letting it do its own thing and see, does it work, and just do this survive? Because I just think it's funny. Like, I haven't the heart to pull it, so we'll see what happens. Another one here that I'm trying, this here, that's a daylily I'm propagating from elsewhere in the garden. See, can I get it to take there? It looks like it's going to work. You can eat some flowers, yeah? You can, yeah? Oh, no. You definitely can't. I'll come back over here. Okay. This area over here is shady, relatively speaking. It's kind of hard to see it now in a day when the sun isn't really shining. So I'm trying to make it into a kind of what Gardener's World call a damp bed. So I've put hostas in. There are little hostas that I grew from bulbs, and foxgloves that a friend of mine gave me in at the back as well. So we'll see. The jury's out about whether the experiment is going to work or not. Really, see there now, there's the agapanthus that's not looking great. Do you see? There's only maybe 6 flowers on that one. and its brother that went down at the exact same time, that's in a slightly sunnier spot. Look at that. So there's, I don't know, 20 at least flower heads on that. I know they're all gone to seed now and it's hard to tell, but there are. Here's another major success story. Now, it doesn't look, oh no, granted, it's not looking like the world's greatest success story there. However, that's a Hellebore that was really small, and it has these gorgeous sort of soft pink flowers. It's evergreen, and the flowers come in around Christmas. So when there's nothing else going on, and this furniture's gone back into the shed for the winter, we're looking straight out of that Hellebore. So I think they're a major find as well. I have my rhubarb, it's looking a bit icky. I'm going to have to sort that out as well. And that's a lot of it then out the back of the garden. I have peonies in there. Look at the colour, aren't they gone gorgeous? That's a different Crocosmia there. I also have a red Crocosmia. I have a lot of different Crocosmias. I think they're lovely. And I have that tall spiky is a liatris or liatris. I'm not too sure how you say it. These square beds here, I don't know if you can make out the edge of them, where the dahlias and all this are. In winter time, they're full of bulbs. So they're bulbs now coming from the dahlias, but there's snowdrops, daffodils and bluebells in there. So there's a succession of bulb plants coming from January. Usually the snowdrops start showing their head in January, and then my little daffodils, they're the miniature daffodils, the tete-a-tete miniature daffodils, where you have 2 heads per stem, so you get way more bang for your buck, come after that. And then the bluebells are later on in May. So if you can see these 2 windows here, there and there, my living room looks out at this. So they're right in the line of sight and cheer us all up, and they're near the front as well. So they, if what's behind it isn't as glorious, for want of a better word, these take the sting out of it, and yeah, cheer us all up. So look, I know I'm going on a bit about bulbs at the minute, but I really do think that, especially for anybody who gets down in the winter or miserable, I know everyone gets a bit down, but like, if it's something that you've seen in yourself, I just think bulbs are deadly, because there's nothing quite like waiting for something like that to come up, and then when they do come up, there's a little bit of a kick of achievement that, you know, it grew well or it looks well, and it's something, it reminds you that the garden's going to come back, you know, that you're going to be doing more of it for the rest of the year. So I really think that, you know, everybody should plant a few bulbs, because they're just they make you so happy. If you plant them in pots, like, it's a bit more faffing with planting in pots. I'm not going to pretend that that's as easy, but if you plant them in pots, you can move the pots around so that you can make sure that you see them, like whether you put them at your front door so you see them every time you come in and out, or whether you put them wherever you can see when you're washing the dishes or whatever. I just think that bulbs are kind of, I don't know, they're what keep the whole, they sort of knit the whole thing together, because over the winter, so much of this now that looks so vibrant, I know it's starting to go off a little bit now with the autumn, but so much of this goes. And when there's nothing else, and you kind of think, sure, like, is it ever going to come back? I mean, I'd be here in March wondering, God, is that still there at all? Or there's no sign of any green shoots on the other, but the bulbs are up, you know, and they keep me going. So I think everyone should. I'll do more about them anyways in the group, because I'm after buying a few bits over the week. So that's it. I think I'm kind of gone around in a circle here on myself. And my little helper, I'd say, could be running out of patience. So I hope that that was okay and that you enjoyed that. And if anyone has any questions, put them in the comments and I will happily answer as best I can, as long as they're not too hard. And